Good morning from America. I was talking without turning myself on. Okay, oh, happy Monday. It's coming soon, hey? I hear you guys were talking about it. So today, like he said, we're going to break the topic a little bit, and we're gonna talk a little bit about man inner self, internal mentalities of man. I shouldn't be the person have the right to talk about this because I'm not a man myself. But since I just got married for about 13 years, been living with my parents and my husband for just about 13 years. So uh, we just got married.
That's not just. That's close to 20.
You had
Almost
to
20
keep
years
it
in
fresh
marriage.
and new. That's the mentality. um, yeah, so I can somehow understand a little bit from my woman point of view. And since been working with quite a lot of men because mostly in the finance industry, there's more men than women, majority. Um, Depend on which department you're doing. More when I was living in England, as especially in London, where the finance industry is. Certainly, there are more men doing finance than women. So any woman who doing finance is quite somehow spectacular. Yeah, so today we're talking about men, but since um, so what I'm gonna say, the first thing is sending a lot of love to all the men in the Zoom today. Yeah, um, give you guys some heart reaction on the screen. Okay. I see Panka and he's also sent you guys some love as well. Alright, so how many of you in here are married? Please give me some.
Everyone except Emmanuel.
Oh, everyone? That's great. Okay, and how many of you guys have children already? You can type the number of your children in the chat box if you have children. Okay, just one children, one kids. That's great. Yeah, Abdul one, Joseph one, Sandra three. Ah, okay. Joy one is one. Okay, that's great. So lots of us are parents are married already.
Amen. Amen. To your prayers.
Who else? Those are missing. Okay. Share the screen. So as we know, since we married, it's totally different. The mentality as a man when you guys married, obviously it's gonna be totally different from when you were single, right? If anyone agree with me, says yes in the chat box, please. Thank you, Joy. Actually, okay, there's some of the main answers. Does give me more confidence to continue talking rather than just woman agree to me. Right. So a lot of people that has experience in marriage also um, have written a lot of books about family relationship and how the men deal with relationship, how the men deal with family wise, completely totally different from women, right? Any one of you guys read the book Men from Mars and Woman from Venus? Have you ever read that book? If you had, please. Oh, okay. Just know if you had, please. Yes, Men from Mars, Woman from Venus. Okay. This books has written. This book has been on the market for so long, and it's a very popular book about relationship between not just couple in marriage, but man and woman in general. Okay, and the person who written this book is a chaplain. He got experience a lot with obviously his wife, how to do with his wife, but he's also a counselor to so many couple, so many individual women and individual men. Okay, so if you haven't read this book, I would highly recommend. It will give you a great insight of what your other half actually think about um, about their inner self or their inner talk when they are dealing with you daily. Um, for example, sometimes, okay, with a lot of women here, yeah, sometimes sometimes you see a man stare into space with a blank face like this, right? And the woman probably think there's something going on inside the head of the man. But the truth is that there's nothing going on at all. We're totally different from women. And that's why the book got the name Man from Mars, Woman from Venus, because the two species are too different that men, most of the time, they don't really think. And we can say that men go into some kind of um, meditation like moment. It's not that exactly meditation moment, but like the moment you don't actually think of anything and you like have empty space. Whereas woman is like in a moment, her mind can have a million thoughts going on at the same time. Yeah. So this book will give you a great insight of how to deal with, when your other half needs space, or when your other half actually just want you to listen but don't want you to help to solve the problem. And most of us, we don't, we deal with others as the way we want rather than as the way the other wants, because we don't really understand much of other species. Right? Normally if you love someone, what you normally think is, okay, I like this, so I will give her what I like because she probably will like it too. Yeah, and the woman probably think the same. I love this thing, I like these things. Okay, and if I give him all of what I like, I want to, then obviously he will be happy too. But the reality is quite different. Okay, and come back to our topic. We, if you guys remember about the house that we used to draw before in any relationship, okay, and any relationship, um, the house we had before. Remember, this size is relationship. Okay. And if you have relationship with yourself, that's called inner self, right? and health on this side, finance here. Okay, so every day in a family, either you are still single, you see your parents deal with each other, and that's how you're gonna replicate in your relationship when you're married. And if you are already married, your kids are looking at how you and your partner dealing with each other, and later on somehow it's go to their subconscious, and then they replicate it in their relationship. And for example, if your parent didn't have a very great relationship, and you consciously want to avoid doing the same thing with your partner, but somehow because that things going on with your parents, which you see, you hear, and they talk about it every day, and you absorb that for a very long period of time. Later on, even though you constantly want to avoid doing the same thing, but then because all of those go into your subconscious, you had all the image of your parents in your mind of how they dealing with each other, and then eventually that will come out similar in your relationship. Uh-huh. And this um, this house actually let us have to rethink about how we've been dealing with all about what we see, what we hear, what we say, and what we know, and uh, change what the image in mind that we have. Okay, remember the formula that we draw last time about all of your choice in the past, all of your choice in the past that lead to your result. Mm-hmm. and and I'm not gonna rewrite this, but eventually we lead to the image in mind. Okay, that, yeah, of the image in mind, that actually the root of all the, I'm not sure if I already talked about this. Okay, give me a hands up if I missed out this topic. So I think I already talked about it, but I might have missed out. Okay, of your image in mind, which uh, the result of what you say, what you hear, what you speak, what you hear, what you say, what you see, and what you know. Okay. All right. So what you say, what you hear, what you see, what you know daily, that is the component to create all the image in mind. And then later on, when you create the vision of what you have about relationship, about a family wise, that also has been determined by what you actually say, hear, see, know in the past. Okay. And if what the image in mind that we have is might not be very good, and you really want to change it, then you have to start changing from what you say every day. So certainly you want to say the things that you really want to, not opposite you really want to. And this is what a lot of women have problem with, because some lot of time us women thinks of one things and then we say another thing. Okay. And same with what you see, what you hear every day. It's not really within your control, right? Most of the time, what you hear will be determined by the people around you. Okay, and if you have a good number of people around you, then certainly You heard a lot of good thing all the time. Okay, that's why they want. That's why they're saying. There's a saying. Say, tell me, um, who's who are your five closest friends, and I will tell you who you are. Okay, that's because what they talk to you, what they do, you seeing it every day, and what they know certainly also the same thing that you know. Okay, mm-hmm. And what you hear, what you see, um, what you know also not in your control because you are these are determined by what you if every day you go on Facebook, you go on TikTok, you go on YouTube, then you can't really control all the things you hear, see, and know, even though you want to keep those what you hear in the positive side, what you see all the good thing in life, but then certainly it's not really in your control, although you can control it. Okay. So let's go back to this house. We know that these four aspects mutually impact each other. So if you want, if okay, as a husband, a man or a woman in a family, you want to master these four aspects in life to truly have happiness inside yourself, then you can also lead the other half or the rest of the family have have happiness just like you. Uh-huh. And in relationship, the most important relationship we have been talking about is marriage, right? The person who been living with you for the rest of your life. Okay. um, Certainly your parents has been living with you for the first half, and the rest of your life will be that other who, I mean, initially you call soulmate. Okay, is anyone in here actually participate in arranged marriage? Anyone in here participate in arranged marriage? No, right? Give me a hand if you have. That will be the highlight of the day. Okay, so that means all of you make the choice. Okay, love at first sight. All right, love at first sight. That means you actually make a choice. Okay, and continuously make the choice to live, to stay, to be with that person. Okay. Um, there's a fun story about love at first sight. Let me tell you a story about love at first sight. Okay. There's a couple. Um, they actually fell in love at first sight. Okay, and they got married. They in their honeymoon, they went to a tropical forest for their honeymoon. Okay, and that morning they decide to go for a walk outside in the forest. Okay, packing their lunch and food and everything for a nice picnic. Okay, they decide that they're gonna go inside the forest, properly seeing the view, having the picnic, having lovingly conversation. Um, on their way, they heard the sound. The woman heard that sound and she starts saying, "Oh, darling, I think it's a duck. You hear that sound? I think it's a duck." And the man replied, "No, baby, I think it's a white cock." Okay, I mean like the chicken who live in the forest, right? There's a wild cock. Then the woman heard that from the man, he said, no, 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 it's a duck. It's definitely a duck. And the man said, no, darling, I know I've been hunting and living in the wild for a while, so I know what the sounds of a wild cock sound like. And then they just leave the conversation there. They continue working. They're working for a while, continue working for a while, and then they start hearing that sound again. Okay. Then the woman turned to the man again and said, darling, it's definitely a duck. This can't be wrong. I can't be wrong. That is the duck sound. It can't be what you said. And the man determined, like, you never live in the wild. How do you know? This is the first time I take you to the forest. Okay? You've been living in the city for the most of your life. How do you know what wild cock sound like? Okay? And they start going backward, forward. Then the woman suddenly shouting, it's definitely a duck! Then the man seeing that, he start realizing that, oh my God, I make her unhappy, and today is the first day of our honeymoon. So he turn around and say, I think you're right, you're right. It's a duck. It's a duck. I think you're right. Let's just leave it. Okay. So that story, right? What do you think? What do you think? If suddenly, I mean, that story is end there. But what do you think if suddenly, a white cock coming out from the bush? What do you think the relationship gonna be like? For the rest of their marriage, the man gonna be the right person in the relationship whenever they come to discussion or argument, right? And if there was a duck came out from the bush or from one of the tree from of the far away, they actually see a duck, then what? In every conversation for the rest of the man's life, the woman will start with, remember that duck and cock conversation we had? I always right. So that's just a little fun story about relationship. But is it right when you have? Is it right that we normally have that conversation daily in our life? Okay. So very fortunate for us that to avoid all of those continue happen and to avoid now a lot of broken relationship. There's a 9 golden words in marriage that has been given to us from a lot of people with experience, of wise men and women. Okay, and these 9 golden words that will lead to harmonious and happy marriage. Okay, so I'm going to introduce to you today. Okay, these words that include the first 3 words that's in any relationship. Okay, especially marriage relationship that we have will be involved. Love. Okay, that's certainly the first word. Okay, the second word will be finance. Cannot run anywhere. Finance. And the last word, which will differentiate normal relationship, because normal relationship you have with your parents, with your college and your friends, also have 2 of these, right? The last thing will differentiate your married relationship with other relationship, that is sex. So these three words, if
Recording stopped.
okay, if two partners,
Recording in progress.
if whoever went into the marriage have the same understanding about love, the same understanding about finance, the same understanding or mutual understanding about sex, wouldn't that relationship will last a lifetime happily? Yeah? Okay. So these are the first three words, and we're gonna we going to make the three words in detail. Talk about the three words in detail later, and we'll we'll see how we can have a couple lead to a very happy harmonious relationship by understand this 9 word. Okay, the next three words will be um, language, same language. Same language here is not like me and my husband. I'm original from Vietnam, as you all know, and my husband is British. So it's not like same language. The it's not like we actually had to speak English as same language, but the same language is meaning that you actually thinking of the same thing when you actually talking, right? Because most relationship, the woman talk one things and the man understand the other things, or the man talk about one thing and the woman understand the other things, and that create a lot of misunderstanding in relationship quite often. Yeah. So this same language means that you guys had the same awareness in marriage. Okay. And you have the same sort of concepts about certain things in marriage. The same energy, vibration, frequency, and the same image in mind when you think about marriage. Yeah. Okay. Okay. The next word will be consensus. Let me change the color. I think rewrite this. It's 9 words. Not going to be enough on this page. We have love. We have finance. We have sex. Okay. Mostly in you Christians, right? Then before marriage, we all go to some kind of marriage class, right? I don't know if they had the same thing in Nigeria. Can you confirm with me in the chat box that you go through some kind of class that actually, yeah. All right, great. So we're in the same page. Okay. But the truth of it is mostly just talk about how to keep your faith of God in your marriage. It certainly doesn't give you any insight of your other half, right? And certainly doesn't give you a magic solution to solve all the problem you have in your marriage wise. Okay. Okay. Okay, this consensus that I'm talking about, it means that a couple agree with each other in certain things. Obviously, they're two individual. We can't make the other have totally the same like us. Imagine yourself. Okay, just think of, if you close your eye for a little bit, think of yourself as individual. And suddenly, the other individual also just exactly like you, think like you, act like you, behave like you. Would you be happily living with that person? If it's me, I wouldn't be, because sometimes I can't stand myself. So if there's a other person like me, I really stay away from that person. Stay away from mine. So some of you also agree with me. Okay. So, but then in our relationship, what you normally think? You're like, why doesn't he think like me? Huh? So why doesn't he act like what I think he should act? Yeah, is that true? In our relationship, we normally do that. But reality is, if there's the other person like us, acting like us, behaving like us, thinking like us, we wouldn't want to live with that person. And the attractiveness of the relationship, because that men are so different from women. Remember from what you were talking about, falling in love at first sight. Okay, that first sight, because why? Because one of you are so positive and one of you so negative. I don't mean negative in emotional wise, I mean in the energy wise. Okay, women tend to be like the negative, negative in terms of the energy vibration, and men, because the woman bodies actually have differentiate from the men. So we have things that men doesn't have. We have the things that every man doesn't really have. So that create a difference in our body, which give us, a little bit more negative vibration than men, which is always more on positive note. And that's why women tend to have more emotion than men. And yeah, so and also, men think totally different, women think totally different. That's what the attractiveness at the beginning. Okay, for example, me and my husband, he is so totally different from me. He is in like I am is very outgoing. I like to make friends. I like a lot of changes. If things stay the same for a long period, it make me very uncomfortable. I like change. I like surprise. I like to go and explore different things. Okay, whereas my other half, he like to deal with anything that not human. So he's doing technical stuff. So he's very good with like machine, laptop, computer, phone, any laptop that go into his hand. He used them for 3 years and passed out to me. It looked exactly brand new, just come out from the box. So you know how good he is with like things that not human. But if he have to go into the shop or into the bar and go order drink, and it's a woman that taking an order, is also make him nervous. Okay. So this just, and his is, if he have a circle of friends that friend with him since middle school, and now they still friend, like friend forever. BFF kind of things. Uh, um, so he doesn't like to change. Okay, so those things actually, because we are so different, it attracts us as first. Okay, obviously we got to have some common thing that also keep the conversation going, and keep the relationship going, like any other relationship, right? You have different things, but you also have the certain thing that in common. Okay, like both of us, like love traveling, and we can actually travel around Europe just literally after the first month I gave birth. So because we love travel that much, so we do have certain things like you guys your relationship, you also have similar things, okay? So but that difference that actually attract you at first, okay, that first I love, okay. But then when you actually living long together in relationship, after 3 years, after 5 years, then what happened? Those different things that you have, different from each other that you have, it's become an obstruction in your relationship, and sometimes you hold on to those differences and make it difficult for the others. Okay. So with the understanding that we have the certain, if we continue to have a certain consensus, a certain agreement with each other. Remember when you go first dating, sometimes the woman doesn't really say anything, but the man understand what she wants, and sometimes the man doesn't say anything, but the woman really know what he wants. Okay, and nowadays, in marriage, after you married for a while, it's still the same. Okay, but it reflects in different ways because you are now two individuals that also different from your two individual. Let's say 5 years ago, when you first met and got and dating and got married, you are two different individuals came together because love at first sight. Okay, and then 5 years later, down the line, you are still the two different, individual. But now you are also different from the two you were before. Okay, so that's consensus, that agreement on each other got to keep going. And if it doesn't keep growing, what happened in relationship, right? A lot of broken relationship that happen because there's a certain agreement that you guys kind of agree with each other before, now is go off. Okay, so this consensus agreement with each other can only establish when you have the same energy vibration frequencies between yourself. Okay, that's what create the understanding between you both, even when you don't even talk or say anything. Okay, so then what you see in other, you see in yourself also what you see in other. Okay, but the true consensus also have the same language and also same source of concepts. Okay, same source of concepts. Okay. And we talk about a certain concept that we've been knowing wasn't right. Okay, and now we got to rethink about a certain concept in relationship again. Okay, move on. The third one will is companionships. Companionship. Companionships with each other means when you put a ring on your finger, you know that whatever you do for the rest of your life will have the other half tag along. Yeah. So we rather have, both of us tag along with each other in the same energy, vibration, frequency, same language. When we talk to each other, same image in mind about, family, about children. Okay, the same concepts when you think about marriage. Okay, that will keep the relationship going happily and harmoniously. Yeah. Okay, and then we also have, okay, same image in mind. Okay. Same concept. Mm. And the last one will be same energy, vibration, frequency. We will talk in detail in one of other topics when we talk about finance, because it's also the same thing what your energy, vibration, frequencies about money, about finance also will reflect um, in your marriage or in your relationship. Because remember, this house, these four things, they are connected to each other. Okay, these four aspects, they mutually impact each other. Okay. Right. And today let's talk about the same concepts. Okay. We focus same concepts. Otherwise, this topic can going on forever. It's already 9:30. Anyway, 9:30. You want me to talk a little bit more on this? We call it a day now because I know that is my times. Would you like me to talk more a little bit on the same concept of what you've been thinking about marriage and what your woman thinking about marriage should be on the same page? Okay. All right. Emmanuel said yes, please. So, okay, I'm gonna give you some insight. Okay, because think about this. Um, what happened if every day you wake up and seeing your wife, your husband face just like the first day when you got married? What happened if you know whatever you do, for sure 100% that the other half will support you, respect it, and give you 100% of what they have, doesn't matter what. That wouldn't that be a very very good relationship that you never ever want to part with? But in reality is that life often slap into our face, and we go through a day with a lot of things to do with at work, things to do with our own personal family, our parents, things to do with our inner self sometimes, and we tend to reflect that on our partner and thinking that, oh, this person is for life, so today I behave a little bit badly, it doesn't matter. But sometimes it really does. Sometimes it really does, because sometimes just a moment of weakness, that person will keep that what you said, okay, what you did to them, and carrying it with them for the rest of their life. And because of that heaviness that they carry on, that will make relationship go downwards, especially when you have little child in between. You don't actually have much time for the other half anymore. Okay, then these kind of concepts that you have between yourself is will keep your relationship in the same page always. Okay. Uh-huh. And the this perspective we're gonna talk about today will 7. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about sex. This is a hot topic, but not often. We not often talk about it, and most of us we don't really we don't have such an education on it much. But it's gonna be a very short thing to say, and we move to a different concept. Okay, so I would like to introduce you to this kind of concept, and if you keep it in mind for the rest of your life or introduce it to your other partner, then you are good to go. Okay, and obviously if you want to discuss anything about other thing about the concept, then the best person we talk about will be your partner. Right. So these are the concepts that we should carry on. Okay, in relationship. These are actually what we currently doing, but unaware of it. Okay. Okay. Is this putting a smile on the guys in here? Right. So man desire woman. Okay. Can any of you guess? I'm asking the man. Can any of you guess what do woman desire? Can any of you guess what do women desire? You can turn the mic on and we can have a discussion on this. This is gonna be fun. Remember that attention money, Joseph. Okay. Okay, I got some good response here. You good? Uh-huh. All right. Okay, attention. Joseph said attention money. Emmanuel, you mean what a woman desires in terms of sex concepts? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. We're gonna talk about the concept in sex. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Emmanuel's marriage cause future married man, a single woman. Yeah. Uh-huh. Bro, let's see. Okay. Kingsley just left. Is the topic a bit too much for Kingsley? Alright, a lot of stuff. Chai said a lot of stuff. Woman desire a lot of stuff. Okay. Such as romance, attention, beautiful words. Right. Emmanuel. Okay, let's go back to the question. What do you think? Alright, so in terms of sex partner, in terms of sex concepts, okay, men, this is for men, okay, because it is about this today, the topic today is for to celebrate Men Day. So I'm gonna give you a hint inside that some women don't understand herself. Okay, and that's why it's so difficult for you to understand her. Right. What woman design? Oh wow. If you're figuring this out, the half of your life is done. Okay? That's already determined your success in your marriage. Woman design. What man desire? Think about it for a bit. So when Joseph said that woman desire attention, money, isn't this what men desire? Those are what men desire. Yeah. So, and also, Choi said romance, attention, beautiful word. Okay, isn't that what also men desire from woman? So men desire woman. You go out, see a beautiful girl, right? The man's gonna just wide open their eyes and look at her, and the only thing is that's her. I want her. That's the only thing. But when the woman going out and see a man, right? Like let's say in here, like a single person in here, thinking about having a man for the rest of her life. She not just think of himself alone. She gonna think what is his goal in life, what is he doing, what is his thinking, what is talk in terms of having children, what is his what is his pursuing currently and later on, you know. So all of the thing that man desire, the woman desire that. So not just the man himself. So the man without any desires, the woman doesn't want them. Okay, isn't this true? This woman in the house. And that's why I'm saying that why I say I told you that woman sometimes don't understand herself. Luckily for us that some wise men and women has pointed this out. So if you understand this, okay, for the rest of your your life when you deal with the sex concept, okay, you're gonna think twice in terms of how to deal with the other half. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the actual sex. When you are doing intercourse, what women thinking totally different from men. That's for sure. So if the man, okay, if the man desire whatever it is and he is, satisfy his woman, then he's halfway there, successful. Okay. So understand her in order to keep the marriage in good in a good shape. Okay. And this also for all the women in the house here, you got to, restrain some of your desire. Don't go too wild. Okay, because woman desires it depend on how on what how her old wants and her own desire can determine what she really wants in the man is increased all the time. Some of you before you married, okay, you just want a hot boy, a guys who look handsome, a guys have a good career. Okay, that's my start at first. But then after you married, what happened? You don't want just men that look good. You want the man can take the trash out without you asking, can fix things in the house without you pointing your finger at. You want the man can bring the money home and give it to you without you asking him. Right? Woman desires can go very, very wide. And that is for us to actually, restrain some of that. But anyway, so now you know what kind of concept, okay, of different species in sex, yeah? Okay, moving on. I actually have a lot of concepts to introduce to you. But we're going to just talk for you today, and we say some for the other time, okay? I have two other concepts that I would like to introduce you and Emmanuel. Even on Men's Day, it's still about woman design. But at least now you understand. You understand what she is like in order to to keep your happily marriage going, right? Rather than guesswork like before. It's too difficult to guess because even sometimes women can't guess what her next feeling gonna be, depend on what you're going to bring home to her later. Okay, so there are two choices for you guys. One will be the concepts of uh, happy, harmonious, happy family, or the other one will be the concept on educating children. Which one? Uh, which one would you like to hear about? We will talk about one of those. Otherwise, this session gonna go very long. And some of you guys may need to still working while I'm sharing on the Zoom right now. Okay, so we have happily married on kids, on children, the perspective on educating children, or the perspective on of a harmonious, happy family. Which one? Which one would you like me to introduce you to? Pick one. Okay. So I have two perspectives. Okay, one is not just one, but there's several. The perspective on of a harmonious, happy family, and perspective on educating children. Which one would you like to hear? Happy family. Okay, right. Harmonious, happy family. Great. So to keep the harmonious, happy family, we have these kinds of perspective, yeah, these sorts of concept. First, a home is where there is a wife, a husband, or children. Okay, so a house is not a home. We all know that, yeah. A house is not a home, and the home is only a home where you have a wife, a husband, and children. Okay, and that's I think that's most of us also think on the same page on this one. Okay, I'm gonna just put a home here. Yeah. A home where we have wife, husband, and children. When me and my partner first got married, my husband, for the first 7 years we didn't have kids, and because I was quite young, considering as the modern a type, yeah. If it's my grandma generation, then obviously I've been married quite late. But as our generation, I married when I was like 23. Then it was quite early to my mom, I think, right? And for the first 7 years, we didn't have kids. Obviously, we pursue our own career. We pursue our wants and needs and desire. And obviously, living in London, a very busy city, it's keep each of us in our own world. Even though we're married, but I travel a lot with work. They travel a lot with work, and we totally work in totally different fields. He is in like engineer, telecommunication, and I've like in event and finance, so meeting a lot of people elsewhere. So we're doing like doing business, so we totally different sides. which we kind of like, um, although we're married, but we still kind of single because he just do what he like, I do what I like. We come together at the end of the day and enjoy the moment together. But otherwise, I have my own friend, he has his own friend, and we still keep that going for like 7 years quite happily. And then suddenly, we are kids. But then the moment that I had my first child, or the first year that I had my first child, I totally rethink, for the last 30 years of my life, what I've been doing, and completely changed it. So if some of you was here on the first day where I was telling you about my story, the reason why I get into sharing all of this and talking about all of these things is because of my first child. Um, my first child actually changed my life completely. Uh-huh. So that is when I realized a home is where there is a wife, a husband, and children. That's then actually a home. Otherwise, is when we were when we weren't had we didn't have kids before. It's just like two single person living together happily, really. Uh-huh. Okay, and the second one is a harmonious, happy family is an environment for the comprehensive development of children. We all know that, yeah. A harmonious, happy family is an environment, an ideal, actually, it's got to be in an ideal environment for the full development of your children, okay? It's an ideal environment for the development of children, okay? The third one is the coming of age of the children is the greatest gift for the parents, or the maturity of the your kids will be the greatest gift to the parents, and the happiness of the parents is the starting point for your children, okay? The maturity of your children. Thinking about kids right now, some of you have kids, right? Thinking of your kid right now, what happened if your kids get to the age of 20 and they think like, they think about life, they think about relationship like a person in their 40s, very mature. Uh-huh. They have the circle of friends that actually giving quality friends. Okay. Charles, I see you raising your hand. Sorry, what if one the couple died, the change is from being a home? Charles, is that your question? Sorry, I missed it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I wanted to draw attention to.
Okay. What did you think? What do you think? Please share with me your thought. If one of the person died, does it change it from being a home?
Yeah, for me though, I feel like after the birth of a child, it becomes a home,
Mm-hmm.
and it can never change, irrespective of what happens from being a home afterwards. Because I think it's it has to do with the level of maturity. You mature into that phase, and it remains like that with you for the rest of your life, irrespective of the dynamics. Either one person leaves, I think it still remains a home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
Mm-hmm. Okay. to answer this question, just simply put it, remember when you first left your family, when you were still single, right? And you left your parents to live on your own. Yeah, I mean, some of you may never left your parents. Okay, so think about that, like that period. Whenever you think about, you heard the word home, what you think? You certainly instantly think about where your parent is, what parents are, right? Even though that moment you might not stay with your parents, you have your apartment or career or job or thing that you pursue. But whenever you hear someone say a word home, whenever Christmas time, New Year time, and people say I'm going home, what do you think? That's the place where father is, mother is, and the kids is, right? Okay, so that's why I said this is a concept of a home. It's not just a home itself, but it's a concept of a home where you actually think of it and keep it for your growing life. For, like a moment in life where you have a lot of problem going on. Your partner kick your ass, your employer kick you out of the workplace, and you fail miserably. The only thing that will keep you going will be what? Your wherever you think is a home, wherever you think your parent is, your mother is. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So even though maybe one of the others left this life, but is that still a family? Is that still a home? Yeah, because in the kids' minds, that is where happiness is. That is where all the fun in life, all the joy in life, and they wouldn't be able to get it from anywhere else. Okay. And for whoever left on this world, either a husband or the wife that's continue living in this life, what she or he think of a home wouldn't be, that's where, my kid is, that's where my other half used to be, or he is still continue with me, even though he's not present here, he is still in my heart always. Yeah. Okay, so that clearer. Let's go back to the third concept of the maturity of the children is the greatest gifts for the parents. Okay, for I know that a lot of you in here wouldn't have. I mean, I shouldn't assume. Sorry. Any of you in here that have your child going to the age of 20 are gonna be 20 soon? No, me neither. So think about it. If your child in their teenage, in their 20s, they thinking like a successful person who in their 40s, they have a group of quality friends like a person in their 30s or 40s. Okay, they their inner selves is always there's always strong and brave and happy and joyful inside themselves. Okay, if they don't even have that, they know why or how or what to do in order uh, to go back to the moment where they can stay happy. Okay, so that's called maturity of a person. Yeah, so the maturity I'm talking about here is not about the age. Okay, we normally think about maturity as, oh, I'm 16, I can smoke, I'm 18, I can drive. That's not the maturity that I'm talking here. The maturity here is in terms of, how well you are in your relationship with the people. Okay, how your stable is your inner self, how good your health is, and how your finance is. Okay, so these have nothing to do with age. Okay, because as some of your guys, some of your life, some of us, can also look around and look at the people around us and see that there's certain people, even though they coming to the age of 60, 70, but they doesn't behave as they mature at all. Okay. Uh, so I believe that you have some of those people in your, there's some kind of uncle. Whenever they come to your house, see your happy kids, they're like, no, 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 I can't leave these kids stay happy forever. I got to do something to make him cry, her cry. I'm gonna say something like, oh, kids, when your mom have the second child, you're gonna lose everything. And then the kids start crying. Some kind of immature uncle or auntie that always exists in our family. um, and certainly for some of us, even though we reach to a certain stage of age, we doesn't have the kind of maturity that we really, really want in terms of relationship, in terms of um, the ability to do the work. Yeah, like for me, for example, 5 years ago, when I completely switched from the finance business industry over to education, then I'm completely newbie. Even those in the company that I joined back then, I am quite like um, older than the rest, but then I was like total newbie in that environment, because some of them they pursue the career back when they was at uni. When they graduate, they already pursue the career, whereas I like completely moving from business over to education and totally brand new, learning the whole new thing completely, making a whole new group of friends completely. Okay, so that means that I'm not mature in what I was doing or how I was in that environment. Yeah. So these maturities we're talking about, it's giving you a different perspective. And then the happiness of parents is the starting point for children. The happiness of parents, okay, is the starting point. And I think I don't need to explain more on this, right? It's a starting point for children. Okay. Growing up in a happy family, certainly you will have a different perspective in life. You're going to look at life wonderfully or pink like my background. But if you're growing up in a family, in broken family, or in family where your mom, I'm gonna stay in this marriage just because of this kid. I'm not really want to live with him. Once these kids grow up, I'm gonna like split up completely kind of things. And she tried to bear this relationship just because of the kids. That is totally different. The kids' point of view, yeah. So happiness of parents is the starting point for children. Okay. For the man in a family relationship, what about his wife? Okay, about the wife, the husband should regard the wife as a child. Okay, this will be a very new concept I'm going to introduce you. First, it's gonna sound a bit weird, but let me explain to you. If you're actually doing this, your marriage gonna be happily forever. Okay. Husband, as child. And father see the son or regard to the son as soulmate. Okay. Uh, uh, sorry, daughters as soulmates. Okay, let me write this one. Okay, as a husband, see wife as a child. Okay. And as a father, you should see your son as brother and your daughter your soulmate. Okay. And with woman, with wife, should regard to the husband as what? You're gonna laugh, but this is what all the women should do, that will keep the relationship very happily going. Oh, some of us already know. So you've been told about this before, Charles?
No.
You just guess? Oh my goodness, that's great guess. Yes, that's right. That's certainly right.
It's what we desire as husband. I think it's very important. Respect is very important for us. So that's why I say father.
Yeah, and the truth is that most relationships are broken nowadays is because the woman certainly lose total respect for the man. And yeah, because when you lack of respect to the other, you don't, see the others as a person. That's the man, yes. So with men, respect is the very important things, and that certain respect got to come from the, the most love of his life. And if the person who you love the most doesn't give you respect, then with the man, that's kind of like a great insulting. But woman doesn't really think it that way though. And that's a little bit sad. Most women doesn't really think, the truth is that we don't really been taught that way. So think about this. If you actually have kids and teach your kids this, if when we're in school or when we first in our marriage class, we've been taught about this, wouldn't it be nicer when we go back home and deal with each other for the rest of our life? Okay. And then a mother will, so the father see son as brother, then the mother see son as soulmate. It will be the opposite to the man, yeah, the fathers, yeah. And daughter and sister. Okay. Apologies for my writing. I think I'm gonna have to spend like a few months to practice my writing in the future. Right, so anyone confusing when I wrote this down? it's more real when someone interact with me on this. Okay. Right. I'm gonna just talk about the other half because it's the mandate. Okay. And for the woman in here, this is for you to keep in mind and leave it, as the man always require respect. Doesn't matter when you're angry, when you're out of your mind, when you're gone crazy, it doesn't matter. Give some respect to the man, and you never regret for the rest of your life. Okay, husband see wife as a child. Why is that? Remember how you spy her when you first got together. How you whatever she does, she just like Charles, please do this for me, and then you will completely melt it and do it already, right? So a child is like that. Any child that actually be stable on what they're doing, they changing from a minute to the other. 1 minute they can be very very happy, and then the next minute they're gonna go cry crazy screaming because they didn't get what they want. So think as your wife like that and you know how to behave. Yeah. Remember when your child is like, you take her to supermarket and like, oh my God, daddy, I want this balloon. Okay, and oh, come on, you have many balloon already. At home we have so many balloon. Yesterday, your birthday, we just blowing up so many balloon. You refuse to get that balloon, and the child, if that day the child is happy and reasonable, she like, okay, that's fine, daddy. If that day the child is a bit unwell and uncomfortable and unreasonable, then what? You're gonna have a whole tantrums in the market. Hello, baby. I don't particularly talking to you, but also talk about my child as well. Yeah, so think about your wife like that. Then you'll be easily to deal with. Regard your wife as a child. And obviously it is your child. Once you had your child, you love your child unconditionally, right? You don't know, we always talk about unconditional love. Yeah, we always talk about God giving us unconditionally love. Yeah, but we don't actually experience it and living it until we have our first child, right? Well, second and third child will be different story. But your first child, then you know how to actually stay up all night just for a little human being. How she just a little bit unwell, and you already up and down, unable to sleep, unable to eat. All you want is your kid get healthy and happily. Any day that your kid doesn't run wild in the house, doesn't scream, that's gonna be like a day there's something going on. Yeah. So you always expect that from your child, and if something off, then you completely see it. Yeah. So if you think that your wife the same, then any day that she just a little bit off, you will also see it. But most of us, because we're living our daily and involved with our, bread and butter, about, the neighbor screaming at her husband and all the stuff, the work college, didn't do the job and you had to cover it for them today. So we totally forget about, if our woman going a little bit off, and that's a little bit off, next day a little bit off, and many a little bit off every day, that somehow will pull the relationship down to a completely off. Yeah, So the husband rethink of, are you actually thinking of your wife as a child anymore? Yeah, because some of what some of her demand when you first together, yeah, you've you are happily to please her, but nowadays, a little demand you think it's too much, yeah. So please a woman little bit gonna go a long way, yeah. The same with the fact that every anniversaries or every event opportunity in your relationship, you don't need to give her a whole bunch of flower. Just need to bring her one flower. That is enough. Okay, one flower is enough. But so don't need to have like a big things. Just little one. But that little will adding up for her days. The same with kids. Remember? So in let's say Christmas, kid looking at present, right? They have a lot of present, but then only one present can actually make them happy for the whole day. So you can tell them that, oh, you had too much present. With my kids, the same thing, right? For Christmas, they got a lot of present because I have 9 uncle and auntie living around me, and every Christmas they got at least like 10 presents, at least minimum, not only about 20. And I was like, every day you like to open just one present, and that's keep them happy for the whole month. Every day they have just one thing that they're happy. They little choice. They don't need to open all the presents. The disaster is when they are allowed to open all the present at in Christmas, and then the day after that they don't have anything else to open. Then the house is a mess. Anyway, let's go back here. So,
Yeah.
Panka, do you have any question?
Actually no. I just want to say hi to Charles kids Zoe. Hello.
What's her name?
And Zoe, right? Am I right?
Hey, baby. What? What
Yes,
is your
yes,
name?
Zoe.
Zoe. How old is
Yeah,
she?
yeah.
Yeah, because this discussion is so interesting on how Miss Anne discussed about how should we live in a family and how men being honored in every kinds of in kind of life, especially in a family. And well, actually, I'm very sorry, Miss Anne, because this is regarding the time.
It's
I
okay.
am
Yeah,
so
I
sorry for
know. I'm aware
interrupted,
that
but
I'm going a bit too
yeah,
long.
yeah. Yeah, and I will be the second. I will be the second MC because I is working now, and I would like to give the floor to the other people in here. Is there anything that maybe anyone wants to add or want to share his story regarding this one? I'm really sorry, Miss Anne, because I want to I should cut your
No problem.
explanation. I believe that this one would be very interesting story regarding the man, regarding the family, regarding how we build the relationship itself. But unfortunately, the time is not in our side. So sorry. It's already 19 minutes, right? 90 minutes, right? So anyone wants to add, or maybe Miss Anne, can you please give us maybe one or two closing sentences regarding how to sum up today's discussion, please?
Okay, thank
Like,
you. Thank you,
yeah.
Panka, for reminding me about the time. I totally completely forgot about it. Especially there's a little kid up here on the screen, and like I totally forgot. So for the man in here, for the man in here, for all the women and the man in here, um, what you think? Have you actually been living this kind of concept in your relationship, or have you actually talked to your kids about these kind of concepts? Or do you think that you're going to introduce this kind of concept to your family?
Anyone? But for me, I really agree that yes. Ah, yeah, Charles said yes, and I agree that yes. Actually, on how you said that okay, men desire women and women desires men's desire. because men is only see what they see, but women see beyond what what you see. Sometimes like we thought a lot, we think a lot, but yeah, men is just as simple as that. But women, yes, we think a lot. And thank you so much for this insight. Thank you so much, Charles. In here in this Zoom session, maybe there are some single ladies still, single boys still, single men still, and we learn a lot regarding that on how we should behave to our future relationship, right? For Kingsley, for Ehes, for Emmanuel and others, and also on how we should maintain and yeah, make it better for our relationship and also our family. For Charles, for Lizzie, like Sandra, you are all our role model in building family, in on how create relationship with husband and also wife, and hopefully we can learn more regarding this one. Thank you so much, Miss Anne, for the insight, for the discussion. This will be a very interesting discussion. But once again, I am so sorry because time is running out and it's it's over a lot. So
I'll be mindful more next time in terms of time.
yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
for
Yeah,
reminding me.
we will continue this discussion maybe next week. And once again, I would like to say happy Men's Day for all the men, even though like we're still talking women about this session, but men is still number one. Sending thousands of love for men over there. And okay, thank you so much for anyone in here. Maybe for Chikwin for from HR, is there anything? Oh, she has left now. Okay. Um, once again, thank you so much for the presence in here. I'm here from Indonesia. Thank you so much. Have a great day from Chian in US. Have a great day for Nigerian people and also South African people. And have a good night from others. Thank you so much. See you on next week of Friday. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.
Yeah.
See you next week.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Have straight.